Welcome back, everybody. We just talked about the WWE's 2015 class of the Hall of Fame. It's time to talk about the Smark Out Moment Hall of Fame. We're finally going to do that this year. We're going to make this something that we do every year around this time period, because fuck WWE. They're not the only ones that should have a Hall of Fame, and TNA, they shouldn't have one at all. But we deserve one. So the Smark Out Moment Hall of Fame works a little bit differently. Obviously, we're not just going to be inducting ourselves for like our amazing service on the podcast or anything like that. We have the end of the year award to cover who's got the best for this year and all that other kind of stuff. But instead, we're going to be inducting different things that have been a big part of Smark Out Moment over the past. Whether it's a recurring joke or it's some kind of old segment that we retired or anything kind of like that is what qualifies here. And we've got a wide variety of different things that we're going to talk about for this little segment here. I wanted to have a kind of spectrum of what WWE does, where they've got your tag teams, your main eventers, your mid-carders, your kind of obscure things and stuff. It's not just all the top things that we've ever done, because, you know, we're going to run out of that eventually. But rather than having just like our top 10 voted jokes or something like that, I wanted to give a little bit of a, you know, spotlight to different things. First thing we're going to talk about here is one of the main eventers, though, because we're going to start off big, literally, with Big Show's gun.
Well, it's Big Show's gun.
It's Big Show's gun getting arrested.
No.
Little backstory on this. Big Show's gun came about from an episode of the Monday Night Raw post show, where Paul Hibbard, who has been on Smack Talk a handful of times, been on a couple episodes of the Monday Night Raw post show, there was a situation where Big Show was being arrested backstage on Raw. And, you know, when we're going through our segments and talking about what we thought about different things that happened on the evening, Paul's response was to mention, you know, that scene where Big Show was arrested for bringing a gun into the arena. Immediately, everybody else just kind of was like, wait, what? The fuck are you talking about? And the best part that made this where we knew that we needed to like, kind of like bust his balls afterward was his response was, instead of just going, oh wait, that's not what they said, it was, I'm pretty sure that they said something about it.
I don't know, you guys. I'm pretty sure there was something better done.
That wasn't even the best part. Is that no, he had a gun.
So obviously, because we're a bunch of assholes, we took the piss out of that for a long time, and that ended up winning the best recurring joke of the year that year. And that happened really like soon compared to when we were doing the voting. So that was something that caught on really quickly, and that just skyrocketed. That was one of like the strongest jokes we had for the longest time, and it's still to this day. You know, if somebody makes a joke about a gun or Big Show's got something about that, this pops immediately into my head. I don't know about you guys.
Absolutely.
What are some of your favorite things that have gone on with Big Show's gun over these 2 years?
When it shot somebody.
Oh yeah, that time.
I think at one point we were making Ferguson jokes and someone made a joke about Big Show's gun. As terrible as that is, I thought it was funny. Honestly, the best thing that might have came out of that was probably like the next week he did the same thing but with Biggie's package, and then it seemed like a recurring thing that Paul would just say something completely dumb that it was funny as hell.
Wago, what about you with Big Show's gun?
I liked the time when Paul said it, and that was the cool part of it, and then it just kind of went weird.
Well, everything gets weirder. Fuck. Look at the Sean impression. It's like, fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, like, I can't really point out a great moment where I was like, oh, I remember that great time that I made that reference to that joke that Paul
Right.
said that one time. But, yeah, it's, it was awesome when it happened, and I miss Paul just for moments like that, because I actually listened back to him, and he wasn't that as crazy as we make him out to be, and When you had those rare nights, it was funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Miss you, Paul.
What was that one, the introduction where we're all trying to be, like, really calm, like the smooth jazz? It's just like, hey, everybody, how's it going tonight? And he's just kind of like, yeah, you know, fuck whatever, or something like, what did he say?
I'm glad to be here with my sweaty balls, or something like that.
Yeah, that's right, the sweaty balls. And we're like, oh, I guess that's dead. Oh, God.
What, Sweaty Balls was dead?
Yeah, you remember that time the Big Show shot
Shot
sweaty
the sweaty balls.
Now, we've gotten a lot of mileage out of Big Show's gun.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
is
to this
like,
day, we still make good jokes about it.
yeah, like, these jokes really, I mean, a lot of these recurring jokes, you know, they're really, really funny for like 2 weeks, and then they kind of die off, and you don't really hear that much about them. Or if you do, it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, that old joke, that's funny, that's clever. But Big Show's gun is really stuck, it's mold. It's really just, we're still making hilarious jokes that reference it, and to this day, I don't think it's like slowing down.
It's
fucking
lost a
hell
little
will die.
momentum, but fucking hell, it's gonna be a future contender on that. Wait until
well.
next year.
And let's just get someone who isn't Sean to induct it.
So another one that we have here, this is more on the mid-card spectrum. Dr. Hanukkah Burger. Definitely need to explain what this is, because it doesn't make any sense on its own. This came about from an episode of Monday Night Raw, of course, where they had one of their standard people who likes to, you know, portray this is an outsider to the WWE roster. You know, we had this week the attorney for Rusev. They never give a name to him, though, which is kind of odd. So we might have to give him a name. This guy was supposed to be a doctor that Paul Heyman had under his retainment, and he was going to give testimony that I think it was CM Punk couldn't wrestle or something along the lines like that. And Dr. Hanukkah Burger became his name because we couldn't remember what his actual character's name was.
It was some really generic Jewish name.
It was Dr. Michael Kirschenbaum. And on the Monday Night Raw post show, typical kind of thing. It was just like, I don't know, the fucking the Hanukkah Burger guy, like, just, you know, the Jewish doctor guy. That has had some spin-offs through a couple different people. We had Dr. Smirnoff Vodka Burger was the one guy who, I don't even remember who that guy was associated with.
It was Rusev. That was the guy who gave him the
That
gold
was
star.
Rusev? Oh, that's right, yeah. So, odd situation when it comes to those kind of guys. Apparently, the guy who played Dr. Kirschenbaum is some kind of indie wrestler named, I had that off the top of my head. It was something like Antics or Anarchy or something along those lines in, like, the New York scene. Never seen him in anything where, you know, all that great match that he's supposed to be a part of or any of that kind of stuff. And he hasn't been a part of WWE ever since then. They had him for that one shot. Yeah, you know, he never got a job in WWE doing anything. Never showed up as another character, and the only thing that he could have, I guess, maybe he was like a backstage person in some random shots or something, I don't know.
And now he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, now he's a Hall of Famer. There you go. Dr. Michael Kirschenbaum, or Dr. Hanukkah Burger, or I'm double checking his name. Asylum is his name. Part of the tag team, the Flatliners.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you guys think about Dr. Hanukkah Burger?
I love Dr. Hanukkah Burger, especially during the outro to the Raw post show when that one was usually the one we used. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Customer Party kind of became his theme song.
Yeah. Well, no, the thing is, like, the first time we did it, like, I think we immediately associated it with the Jewish thing and him in particular. Like, it was just so random and awesome, and that's what I really liked about it. It's just, like, random shit like that is stuff that we find hilarious for some reason. Like, I don't think a lot of other people would have the same type of humor that we do, but thank God that our humor is amazing.
It's amazing, our humor, yeah.
Let's pat ourselves on the back for that one. Thank God we're hilarious. Right now, there's people not laughing that Peyton and I are laughing at. And they're like, that wasn't funny either, you fuckers. Anybody have any like standout things when it comes to Hanukkah Burger? Like, what made you laugh about that and everything?
Did you try contacting him?
What the actual guy?
Yeah.
No, I never did.
You should have like tried contacting him, see if he could have been here to accept his award.
I'm pretty sure he would have been like, "Wait, I'm being inducted for being a burger or something."
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I would have wanted to hear his reaction. You should have like called him and recorded it.
Oh, dude, you should have done that. No, what the fuck, Tony? Why didn't you come up with this awesome idea that we just came up with now? No, we haven't even paid him.
Hold on, let me go call him real quick.
I got Skype. I mean, it's not too late, right? Do you think he's got some drums for sale?
I don't know. He might have a meatball parm though.
I think the best part that came out of that is that he has a theme song now.
He probably doesn't even have one in the indies too.
Oh, Payden, hook him up with the fucking what's it called again?
Customer party.
Yeah.
If he wrestles at like fucking, let's see, it says here he's wrestled for PWE and UCW. I don't know what those are actually called. But if he, came out fucking klezmer party one day and it's just like, the tag team, the Flatliners, we've got, whoever the hell his tag team partner is, Matt Burns and Dr. Hanukkah Burger. It'd be like the second coming of Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, that's what we all needed to come again.
There you go. He should have been in the Hall of Fame this year. Hanukkah Burger is one of those things that really, it's just a throwaway line that ended up getting a lot more legs than I probably would have ever thought it would have. Kudos to Dr. Hanukkah Burger. You've spawned Dr. Smirnoff Vodka Burger and Dr. whatever we could call the guy from this week. Boris.
Just call him Bono Glasses or something like that.
Bono Glasses Attorney Burger.
Yeah, I thought that's what we agreed on, Bono.
Dr. Bono Attorney Burger.
Bono Glasses Totally Russian Guy Burger.
Totally not
There you
Russian.
go. You guys should leave a comment below. What should we call that fucking guy? What burger should he be? He's got to end in burger, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Everything ends in burger.
Leave those comments below. Tell us what kind of a burger the old Bono guy should be. That brings us on to a tag team, though. And the reason I made these two a tag team is because I don't think they would have necessarily been great enough to stand on their own. One of them definitely wouldn't have been. The other one, maybe we can make a case. But they are tied together for the person that inspired it and the same segment that inspired it, too. Those are Thurman Sparky Plugs and Bobcore Holly. The segment was our Superstar Scores for Bob Holly. And these came about. Thurman Sparky Plugs was just a throwaway thing. It ended up becoming a little running recurring joke of the plugs at the end of the show being referred to as the Thurman Sparky Plugs. Not the strongest one, but it never would have been inducted on its own. Same time, that same episode, though, we had a little mispronunciation of Bob Holly's name. Instead of Hardcore Holly, he became Bobcore Holly, and that took off pretty damn strong. Payton ended up making a Facebook page for it, which was great pictures of Bob Holly in the middle of like a fucking rave.
In mosh pits, and like there was another where he was on stage playing guitar with badass Billy Gunn.
That's facebook.com/Bobcore Holly, right? It's not like no X's in it or anything.
I honestly don't remember. If you just search for Bobcore Holly in that little search box at the top, I'm sure it comes up.
Let's see here. He's listed as athlete, of course. It is just Bobcore Holly. It's right now it's at 58 likes.
Wow.
Come on, guys.
Which when I'm looking at the thing that says, the mutual friends that have liked that, there's only 4 people other than myself. So that's, I mean, 54 random ass people were like, yeah, Bobcore Holly. I like this guy.
Well, I remember when I made it, and I like just posted the pictures of it on all the random like wrestling memes websites, and one of them like loved it. They're like, "Oh my god, this is so fucking funny," and they like shared it, and that's why we got a bunch of people liking it.
Wasn't that wrestling memes?
No, it wasn't wrestling memes. I think it was like your botchy neighborhood Sin Cara. Which is a funny name for a page in itself.
Yeah, there's I'm looking at the page right now. There's a picture of fucking like goat or something standing next to a bunch of different people, but there's you have the goat labeled as B. Rycore. And it says, fun fact, Bobcore Holly and Daniel Bryan were pals in their younger days.
Oh, I'm fucking hilarious.
And it's standing next to the Thurman Sparky plug kind of one, where he's got the thumbs up and he's just kind of like this shit-eating grin. You know, there's some random posts about episodes of the Monday Night Raw post show and shit like that, but I think this page needs a little bit of a resurgence. I think that everybody listening should share this page and, you know, give it a little bit more vitality.
I might be the weird guy here, but I personally, because this joke was around when I was a fan still, and I wasn't really a part of doing the podcast yet. I never thought that this was really that funny, and I like, so I don't know. I never thought it was that funny in the first place, and it's not even Miguel's fault. But no, I just never thought it was that funny.
Why would it be
Miguel's partly the reason it's lost a lot of steam. Hey guys, remember that time that I made that joke?
I never thought it was that
I
funny.
turned my sink off.
Like, no, like, no, fuck, I know everyone else finds it funny, you know, not everyone thinks something's gonna be funny, yeah. I get why it's in, but I personally would have rather seen something else gone in than this, but nope, like, I respect, this is fucking stupid, I'm talking about respecting a fucking joke.
This deserves a lot of respect, you know, it's got a long history, good legacy behind it.
But yeah, I'd rather see Ricky the Steam.
Oh, see, that's one of the reasons why we couldn't just do a ton of the big ones. Ricky the Steamboat, definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh well, no. See, Ricky the Steamboat has got to go in as like as a group. That's got to be our first stable inductee.
Oh, that's true.
We put in boats.
Tugger the Tug, boat.
Tugger the Tug, boat.
Didn't we come up with one the other
Russell
day?
Crowe, our first celebrity inductee.
It wasn't Russell Crowe. Who was it? It was
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
I wish it was Russell Crowe fighting around the world.
Kevin the Steamboat. There's so many of them. There's so many boats. Hashtag give boats a chance, right? You know, speaking of though not being a big fan of Bobcore gets the distinction of where, you know, Big Show's gun won the best joke for not this past round, but the round before that. Bobcore Holly was the first recipient of the worst recurring joke of the year.
Was it?
Yeah, Bobcore Holly lost that.
So why the fuck is it in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Because the main reason why it lost that, it was because of its tie to Miguel.
Oh, yeah.
That's why one of the worst worst outros of the year was the Bobcore one.
Well, because otherwise, or because it was bad.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like the
So
Bobcore
Miguel
one, the
won-
Ultimate Warrior one, like, you know,
Yeah.
those ones are always kind of hated and stuff. So
He got the worst one 2 years in a row.
no, we didn't have a worst vote for the Bobcore one, but it
What?
was
Look at the
was
second.
lauded.
I got second place for the worst joke of the year last year.
oh god,
Fucking hell.
no, it wasn't.
Everyone
fucking-
know that's gonna win this year, probably. Yeah, dude.
That's
Well,
good.
who knows?
Good contender for winning that.
Good container.
Good container. I pulled a Jamie Noble there for a second.
So when are we gonna do the predictions of what's gonna win the awards at the end of the year? I think we get a lot of
What?
prediction show for our predictions of what's gonna win each award at the end of the year for us.
I don't have a clue. It's, you know,
Not
It's
Tony,
tough.
you're not capitalizing on the viewership of our people. You're like WCW, you're out of touch.
let's see. I'm bringing up the list right now to see what got the worst votes. I mean, Bobcore wins by far. That was 20 votes. Compared to the second one was actually another Miguel one. That was his Mark Madden impression
Oh,
with
wow.
13 votes.
Well, okay, what's the,
the
next
fuck? I like
one
the
that's
Mark
not
Madden
Miguel?
one.
Yeah, it is a solid Mark Madden impression. So,
Okay, what's the next one that isn't Miguel?
let's see. I think that now that I'm looking at this, odd choice. I think that one's going to Time Cow.
What?
Yeah, that has 9 votes for that. That's just above Tow Truck Pig. So Tow Truck Pig more liked than Time Cow when it comes to that.
No, I think no one gave
Oh,
a
that's
fuck about Tow
surprising.
Truck Pig. So
I've always felt that Tow Truck Pig's been in Time Cow's shadow.
Yep.
It's true, it's going to get out of it.
no,
eventually.
Time Cow's is very polarizing. You either love him or hate him. So he nothing evokes the crowd like Time Cow. So
Well, we might as well move on to that one. Our other quote-unquote main eventer, I guess you could say, is Time Cow being inducted into the Smark Out Moment 2015 Hall of Fame. Time Cow is a huge reason why we feel like we can get away with these stupid-ass jokes that we do. We blame this on you guys because Time Cow became far more than what we ever expected it to be. The origins of Time Cow, there was an episode of Smack Talk where the outro was JBL's theme. And both Wego and Peyton are responsible for this. JBL's theme has the cow in the middle of it. And you can't do JBL's theme without having a cow. So, we've got the cow. Pretty simple.
Well, the issue was, Peyton didn't tell me he was going to do the fucking cow.
Why would I have to tell you I was going to do the fucking cow?
I was just going to do the bells at the start of it, so I never expected it. So that's how the interruption came. I was like, dude, if we interrupted with a cow, that...
Yeah.
He just got interrupted right there. That was perfect. Yeah, that became a little bit of a recurring joke afterward where we have a couple different outros where we just, threw a cow in there, because why not? And then that took a whole nother life on its own where we decided that that was going to be our our interruption on the Monday Night Raw post show. We did not think that you guys were going to like this at all. Like, at all. And Peyton, give us a little backstory about the whole build-up to this, because that made it that much better.
Well, I decided to do a parody of the way WCW would build up whenever they had a mystery character showing up. We had a mysterious black limo pull up outside Mega Powers Radio Studios at the very beginning of the show. And the whole time, we just kept telling you guys. As a matter of fact, I think we even teased a week before that we were having a special guest come onto the show. Mm-hmm. We just kept telling you guys, this person's coming, this person's coming. No, don't miss it, this person's coming. We went the whole entire night, and I think it was 2 seconds or 2 minutes before we went off the air, we finally oh, they're coming in now, here they come. Oh, here they are, here's Time Cow. Moo. It's like, that's all time we got, people. We'll see you next week. And then the whole chat room just goes nuts. Holy shit, it's Time Cow. Really? I can't believe you got Time Cow on the show.
Oh man, I've always wanted a Time Cow. Time Cow for president.
Yeah, Time Cow for president is easily my favorite one. Immediately shooting it off. We thought you guys would hate this. Just the biggest fuck you. I'm never listening to this show again. You guys are assholes. And overwhelming positive response. Amazing. We were stunned. That was just well, what the fuck do we do now?
Well, the issue was, though, it opened the fucking floodgates for some of the most, hilarity, but total utter bullshit, too.
Mm-hmm. Because once we realized that you guys would accept Time Cow, then it was just all right, our next thing we're going to do here, which was inspired by a mailbag question that I think Awesome Piano Man had sent in, where he said, are there going to be any other animals like Updog? And we decided that we were going to go with Tow Truck Pig. And our goal here was the flattest delivery possible for the mailbag, that if anything, it would get people to go, oh wait, that's coming next? Oh shit, and get really excited about it. So if you listen back to that mailbag, it's literally, are we going to have any other things like Updog? Tow Truck Pig. So our next question is, and you guys did not give a shit about Tow Truck Pig. The response that we expected to get from Time Cow, we got with Tow Truck Pig. So that gave us a little bit of a bottom. That's where we knew, all right, Tow Truck Pig doesn't fly. Pun intended. Time Cow, still over its fuck. People might forget his name. They might call him Moo Cow, JD. But there's been a long-running thing. I mean, Time Cow has crossed over into the Dace Man show. The point where Dace is just I use Time Cow all the time. Constantly to piss off Gibby. There's been, an ongoing rivalry between Drew and Time Cow.
That you guys keep on bringing up. I didn't do anything to Time Cow. Time Cow's just a dick.
I've never had a problem with Timco.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, Time Cow is pretty funny. And I'm not going to say that I was the reason why Time Cow was so popular, but yeah, I'm the reason why Time Cow is so popular.
Okay,
Okay, Larry Zabisco. Yeah.
You all beat me to the joke. I'm like, I gotta make a Zabisco joke here.
But no, I think
I love how we all pounce on that though. It's just like, Zabisco jokes.
Thank you,
That
guys.
guy's an asshole. Let's make fun of him. Fuck Zabisco.
But in all seriousness, I think, I think Time Cow is the epitome of how fucking stupid we could be sometimes, and maybe how dumb our audience is. But we have the best fucking
Whoa.
fans. But
Well, that makes him so great.
no.
Though.
That was not cool, dude.
Don't diss the audience.
yeah,
paid the
well,
bills.
Time Cow was nice knowing you, bud. It's nice knowing you, Time Cow.
Speaking of like weird audiences and the stupid things that we can do and all that kind of
Fucking
stuff and
Miguel.
get away with, our last inductee into the Smark Out Moment Hall of Fame, our upper mid Carter of sorts. Don't really know how to classify it because it's kind of a combination of different things, but it's essentially however. It's the bell, the counter in general, because they're kind of tied into each other. Of course, this is inspired by everybody's favorite caller, JD.
From the
Wago.
412.
Wago, give us a little backstory with the however bell.
So we'd already had Time Cow in place now, and someone had purchased a bell for my cat for Christmas for some odd reason. And it's not even like a toy bell, it's one you'd find on a fucking counter. Actually, the picture that Tony uses is quite accurate for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what'd be funny? If it fucking just like dinged every time JD said however. And you're like, that's pretty funny. And then it got to the point, it was like, should I do it? Okay. And then it
Yeah,
ended
that
up
sounds
being
obnoxious as fuck. Let's do it.
So, got to the point where I actually regret introducing the however bell. Mainly because if I miss a bell or if he slips in one of those crafty howevers where it's like that, however. Yeah,
You're like, ding, 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 ding.
yeah, it's like, motherfucker. Like, it gets bad. Like, fucking, I get to the point where I just fucking hit the bell angrily because he's so obnoxious. But again, the fans have jumped on top of it. We've got Wazili, who made it so much more fun because he always actually keeps a count of how many. So
He's got a running count of that too, right?
I'm not sure,
He
but
said he has like a spreadsheet or something where he's doing it.
Isn't that ridiculous? Got a spreadsheet on his computer.
He's
How many
line
times
graph.
this guy says however on a podcast. It's amazing. Like, that's what I love about our fucking fans. They're just kind of like, this idea is ridiculous. I embrace the fuck out of it, and I'm going to add to it. I don't listen to many podcasts. The ones that I do don't do any of this crazy shit. And that's what I think that separates us from a lot of them. I've listened to different wrestling shows where they just bitch and bitch and bitch. And then it ends. And it's like, well, if I'm going to hear people complain, I'll read my fucking comments. But, like, doing stupid crap like this, having, Wazili go, hey, not only am I going to keep track of it this week, I'm going to keep a running spreadsheet and, we can compare at the end of the year that this day he was really on a however kick. Like, and to think that it's gotten to a point now where each one of those howevers is a corresponding bell. You broke the bell almost at one point, Lego.
yeah, I think I was just hitting it too hard. You know what's a funny story? And I've told you guys, but the audience don't know about it. So I was listening back to a show because, for whatever reason, I think it was the show where Paul actually said Big Show's gun for the first time. And I listened to the JD segment of that call. And he was saying, however, on a recording of me listening to him, I ended up clicking the bell. I'm that fucking trained to do it now that I do it even when I'm not on the show.
It's a shame. Like, you're going to be, like, sleeping one day, and you know how you can still hear, even though you're asleep?
Uh-huh.
Somebody would just be like, something, however, and you're going to be like, dang.
Hey, you stink.
Where do we go from here, though? I mean, you look at these jokes that we've got in the Hall of Fame. We've got a lot of really strong contenders for next year's Hall of Fame. I mean, Rusev is a potato, won the best joke last year. That's something that obviously has a huge amount of support for it going into the next one. We mentioned the boats, the boat stable. What do you call like a group of boats? Is that a name?
Boats.
Boats.
A vessel?
No, that's a single one. But like a, you know,
Oh.
you know how like it's like a pack of whatever, a school of fish.
It's a fleet.
Fleet of boats, yeah, all right. We could call that the boat fleet or something like that. You know, obviously strong contenders when it comes to that. There's a wide variety of them that we can be doing next year, and I want to try to space it out again when it comes to the next one. Have a couple strong ones, a couple mid-carders, a couple upper mid-carders and stuff like that. What do you guys think that we should go from here? Should we take these to the next level when it comes to these jokes? You know, should we kind of do a little resurgence of some of them? Should we put more emphasis on them? Should we retire some of them? Possibility.
No, we shouldn't retire them because we'll still make the jokes anyways.
Maybe. I mean, we
There's
have...
a word here, organically. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah, like we haven't really made a Bobcore joke in a long time.
Right.
Miguel does every time he shows up. Hey guys, remember that time that I did the thing? Pretty good, eh?
Yeah, well, I have Bobcore.
Yeah, that is, actually is a direct quote. Yeah, well, I have Bobcore. So, leave us a comment below, guys. Tell us your favorite things about these jokes. You know, what makes you stick around when we're doing obnoxious shit like mooing and ringing bells in the middle of the podcast and stuff like that. And remember, tell us the burger name that this Bono guy should get. Obviously, fun class of jokes here. Great to start doing the Smark Out Moment Hall of Fame. Tell us what you guys think should be candidates for next year as well. And we're going to do our final segment for this episode coming up in the next part. So stick on that. Click on the next video. Stay tuned, everybody.